Let's down. Just working on the parents' 2008 Sequoia. Simple oil change, but we're gonna find out that it's not so simple, but yet not so hard. Let's get to it. So step one of this little project is we need to drain the oil. And to drain the oil, we have to take off this pan right here. Just kind of like a metal plate that covers everything. And that is how we access the drain plug and where is that? The oil filter. So we have to get this little sucker off in order to do so. So let's start wrenching on it. So you're gonna need a 13 millimeter because we're working on a Toyota. And just forget about using your 3/8 inch ratchet to try to pry the sucker loose. Grab yourself a nice breaker bar, 3/8 inch adapter, and we just put our 13 millimeter right on there, and that's how we're gonna break this sucker loose, because it's impossible just to get it with this. Okay, so here's our first victim. There's that little bolt up in there, and we'll just get our ratchet ready. Super tight for some reason. You know, just save yourself the trouble from using this and use this. Okay, so now just go around to all the other ones and start prying them loose with the breaker bar. So this is our last bolt, so hold it up. Well, there it is. All right. So now that that's draining, we can start working on this oil filter. Okay, let's tighten up the 14 millimeter on our drain. So now get your 3/8 socket and loosen this thing up. We'll just start loosening it up by hand. This filter housing came out fairly easy than what I'm used to. Last time I did this, I had to use a special tool right here that latched on to this thing. Went over like so. That's probably how I'd recommend it. Get the tool, 2008 Sequoia oil filter wrench tool, and there you go. Should be common. That's how it came off last time I did this. I just took the 3/8, the cap came off, and then I had to use the tool to get the housing off. Okay, so very gently I put the vice grip on where you're supposed to put that tool, and I got the cap off. So now we can replace that O-ring. There's the O-ring. So we got 2 O-rings to replace. Okay, so just pop out that O-ring. Just take some oil. So just take our O-rings, dip them in some oil, clean up your cap. Screw it back on. We'll just do it lightly for now. Alright, cap on, O-ring. Now, we just need to put our big one on. So we'll just take this, dip it in our oil. Lightly stretch it on. Just kind of roll it on down. Get it seated on the line here. Oil filter, on she goes. Okay, there's our assembly. So now just put it up in there. Make sure our seating is good. And just lightly screw it on. Okay, now that it's on, wipe her down, cap's tight, O-rings on, filters in. I think we're good. So now our oil change is almost complete. We just have to put in the oil. And on here, it says 5W20. And that's exactly what we're gonna put in. Some high mileage 5W20. Well, put the oil in. Put the cover back on. Make sure there's no leaks. Make sure your funnel's all cleaned out. Ready to go. Crack open our fresh bottle of oil here. So with one jug / a gallon, 4 quarts, that's where it's at. So let's move on to the second bottle. So with about 5 quarts, that's where it's at. It's a little above full, and that's where I want it because it has to go flow into the oil filter and all that, get absorbed, and let's put a little bit extra. Not too much, just a little bit. And that right there concludes our 2008 Toyota Sequoia oil change. I just have to put this panel back in, pan, whatever you want to call it, and she'll be done. What's this? I guess we'll just put it back on. Wait a second. Why do you even need a cover?